and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing some book recommendations because it's very much cozy reading season, you know, October, November, December. Those are book seasons in my personal opinion. So the first book I want to start with is a really great one. It is called A Certain Hunger. This is really perfect for the October, November scene. It's about a woman who, she's a food critic. The plot of the book is that she kills her lovers and she eats them. Very spooky. I really can't read any murder mysteries or anything like that. I typically don't because they freak me out. I don't watch scary movies. But this book, I really did love this book. Maybe it's because it's a woman antagonist, but I loved it. The next book we have is kind of a popular one, but I read this last Christmas, so I felt like it was kind of made sense. But The Handmaid's Tale, great novel. If you haven't heard of The Handmaid's Tale, are you living under a rock? No, I'm kidding. Dystopian reality where there's very few fertile women, and those who are fertile get passed around like reproductive slaves, you know, impregnated and passed to the next family, and impregnated and passed to the next family. Really great book. And obviously her romance with Nick. Wow. Great book. Next is one of my favorites, Atonement. The way Ian McCain writes this novel is, it's a very slow novel. There's a lot of long inner turmoil inside a lot of these characters' heads. But I love reading it because I love the way he writes. It is pretty much about a incident that happens and somebody gets framed for the incident, and the little girl who ends up framing him doesn't really realize that she framed him, and she has to live with this lie for the rest of her life and live with the damage that it did on her family, specifically her sister who was in love with the boy that she framed. A lot of it is told through Bryony's head. You know that she's young, and maybe there was a little resentment between Robbie and Cecilia's relationship because Bryony did kind of have a crush on him when she was younger. Even with all of that in mind, it still angers me to read it and have Bryony sit there and say, yes, I saw him, knowing damn well she did not see him. Really interesting. It's a really interesting novel, really interesting movie. Definitely recommend. Letters to Melina. My baby Franz Kafka. I love you with my whole heart, and I will never forget you. You are a legend. He's the type of author that really doubted his work and wanted it all burned when he passed away. And then he passes, and in his passing, he suddenly becomes this famous author, and people love his work. Just like with Gatsby, Fitzgerald published Gatsby, and he died thinking it wasn't really that big of a success. I would want to sit down with these authors who felt shame in their work and sit with them and say, do you know how many people worship you and admire you? Do you know how many authors like me sit here and read your work and think that it's absolutely beautiful and breathtaking? And this isn't even his work. It's letters to his editor. I mean, The Metamorphosis is a great story. I love that story. Same with The Trial. The Trial is also really good. But his letters to Melina are something that I just can't get out of my head. He says, a slight blow for me, a telegram from Paris informing me that an old uncle of mine, who I'm really very fond of, who lives in Madrid and who hasn't been here for many years, is arriving tomorrow evening. It is a blow because it'll take time, and I need all of the time I have, and 1,000 times more than all the time I have, and most of all, I'd like to have all the time there is just for you, for thinking about you, for breathing in you. My apartment is making me restless. The evenings are making me restless. I'd like to be someplace different. I'd like many things to be different, and I'd prefer it if this office didn't exist at all. But then I think that I deserve to be hit in the face for speaking beyond the present moment, this moment, which belongs to you. Franz. Oh, God. My man's in touch with his ocean. Then we have Tender is the Flesh. Okay. I am recommending this book because it was the only other book I could think of for a spooky October-y, November-y feel, okay? This book, though, really irritated me. And I feel like it's either a hit or miss when you read it, okay? It is a book that I would seek out, 100%. And that's why I like it a lot. Well, yes, I like it to a certain extent. It's vulgar. It's creepy, it's grotesque. In a good way. Kind of. I don't know. I still have mixed feelings about it. I don't know how to feel about it. It's very popular right now, so I thought I would recommend it. Because again, I think it's a hit or miss. I think some people are really, really invested in it and think that it's a great novel. And some people are like me in the sense they're like, I don't know how I feel about it. And other people are like, this is absolutely disgusting and trash and just terrible. Yes, it is terrible. But I still think about this book to this day. And I still talk about this book to this day. So if it left that kind of imprint on me, I have to put it in there. If a book doesn't make you question your morals, it's not a good book. Okay, this is automatically a good book because it makes me question my morals. Now, is that fair to say that it didn't disgust me and make me feel so many horrid emotions? No, it did. It did. And I think that that is sometimes a good thing for a writer to do. If they could make you feel that way, it means it's a good book. So I would just have to recommend it. I'm literally sitting here trying to think of even how to describe this book and I can't. All of the animals have gotten some kind of disease and you can no longer eat. To rectify this, they have special meat, aka humans, and they keep them in the factory. Marcos works in one of these factories. And so he kind of devils into how they work, and it's very much like the industrial farming industry with, like, you know, them being cruel to these animals. And it's people. He gets gifted a female. And when I picked up this book, right, I thought it was gonna be something great. He realizes they're human and he falls in love maybe, and there's this great event in this cinematic kind of style where he changes everyone's morals or minds, or he finds out that it's like all the government hoax and he saves them all or something like that, right? Safe to say that's not what happens. That's not what happens. And I don't want to sit here and spoil the book, but it is very, very much not what happens. So, yeah, do it with this recommendation what you will. If you do end up reading it and you follow me on Instagram, DM me on Instagram and tell me what you think of it, because I need to talk with more people about this novel. This is a good book because me sitting here still unable to process it is so good. I want people to react this way about my book. I want them to be a little less disgusted. My man's in touch with his emotions. My man will touch me with a 20-foot pole. And for the last book of the video, I wanted to recommend a book that I'm currently reading / finished / just have adored for years, and that is Alchemized by Sin Lin Yu. This originally was a manacled fanfiction, and I had read it when I was 14, 13, maybe even younger. And so she took the fanfic and she turned it into her own novel, her own fantasy novel called Alchemized. So you can kind of still get the gist of the fanfic in here, and it's fantastic. It's just so fantastic. I must admit, he said in a low voice, as though making confession, if anyone had told me you'd become so lovely, I would have never come near you. I was rather blindsided when I saw you again. Her eyebrows furrowed in confusion. You're like a rose in a graveyard, he said, and his lips twisted into a bitter smile. I wonder what you could have turned into without the war. Love this. And then, of course, as you all know, and I will recommend, To the End of Time, Vladimir Nabokov's Lolita. Fantastic novel, but I feel like I talk about it in every video, so I didn't want to sit here and like ramble about it, because if I were to get that book out, it would be nonstop. It would literally be 20 minutes of this video of me yapping about that book, because I love Vladimir Nabokov and I love everything about him. But these are just some books that I just had lying in my bedroom, and I was like, maybe I should do a little recommendation video. So that's what I had for you guys today. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, bye.